Alright guys, welcome back to the Automail Fabrication Films YouTube channel. This is part 2 of the Shifuku build. We're gonna sandblast, powder coat, and assemble this cart, and at the end you'll be able to meet Ezra and Pamela, the people from Shifuku, and we eat probably the best teppanyaki style food I've ever had in my life. So stay tuned, watch it, and just enjoy the build. Alright, so this next part looks a lot like paint, but it's actually sand. It's called sandblasting, and basically sand comes out of a nozzle at about 500 miles per hour, and it bounces off the sand, leaving a perfectly smooth, clean surface, so that the powder coat has a perfect surface to adhere to. Also, I mentioned that in part 1 it didn't matter that we were using rusty tubing, because as long as it's only surface rust, as you can see here, it just sandblasts right off. It's as if the rust was never there. Right, here Tom is about to powder coat the body of the cart. Powder coat is similar to paint, except you have to bake it on. A lot of people think that powder coat is a special type of paint or something, but you actually have to bake it on. We preheat or pre-bake at around 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The powder coat we're using is called Mini Tex. Basically it's just a satin black finish with a very small texture. A lot of people use a static generator when they powder coat. It basically pulls the powder up against the piece that you're powder coating, but we've found that if you pre-bake it at the right temperature, the powder coat just wants to stick to the heated metal, just as much as when we've used a static generator, except that it seems like when we use the static generator, it seems to cause a lot of flaws in the powder coat. So we've decided that we're not really going to use it on projects, especially a big piece just like this. There's some small stuff where it's pretty helpful, but in this case, this is what we found to work the best. I love the aesthetic of the clouds of powder coat coming through the logo. Once you're done applying the powder coat, it goes straight back into the oven where it has to bake for 10 minutes at the same heat that you preheat the steel at. After it's done baking, all you have to do is take it out, let it cool, and it'll be a good long-lasting finish. Bird. Go, Bird. Nice try. Ready? Come on, Bird. Yeah. Bird's favorite game ever is Keep Away. she'll go grab the ball and then pretend that she's bringing it back to you just to fake you out and then run away with it. So I'll usually chase her around in circles for a while and then try and cut her off, but she's just too quick, honestly. These lights that we ordered from Amazon have a little section where you're supposed to be able to cut it with scissors, but it always makes me a little nervous because it just doesn't seem right. So I cut it just to length right where it said that you should, and then right here I plug it in backwards or upside down, I guess. And me and Tom spent a not okay amount of time trying to figure out what was going on. Then Tom walks over, flips the connector upside down, works just fine, first try. I've been trying the battery in like the little remote thing to see if that'll work. No matter what I do, it just didn't work. But anyway, so we're just super excited that we got to see the lights come on, and we just can't wait to see this behind the logo in the actual cart itself. Ezra wanted to take home the first cart that I was using as an example to build the second one because he had a gig that weekend, and we weren't quite done with the second one. We just had a couple of finishing touches, but we were trying to get it done by that Monday, and we ended up doing it. We had to push a little hard at the end, but we made it happen. But yeah, so right here he's packing that up, and he's going to be using it to cater for, I think it was one of his friends. I can't remember for sure, but anyway. Me and Tom could stand around looking at those lights all day long, but we had to get back to work. So here's some EDM music to go with the lights. The reason me and Tom are bent over looking at the lights so close is because we were trying to figure out how it made the colors, but then we realized that it was pretty obvious that it was just one red, one blue, one green, and then they mix up to make whatever color you want. Alright, I'm gonna interrupt this very tedious drilling session to tell you about Automail Industries. That's our company. You can go to automailindustries.com if you want to see the bumpers that we build and if you want one for your own truck. We try and make them as quality as we possibly can for the cheapest price. We really just want our customers to be satisfied with the way that their truck looks at the end of the day, and we want to be able to add just a little bit of extra protection and safety if you were to get in a crash with a deer or something like that. So check out automailindustries.com to get your own bumper today. Back to the video. Right here as I'm drilling, I realized that I hit a vertical section of tubing, which if you've ever built something with metal tubing, you know that it's virtually impossible to drill through a vertical piece of tubing. So we're trying to figure out another option, and it ended up just coming down to pulling out the plasma torch, and I just had to cut out a little hole. Then we ended up using some riv nuts, and we just set those in there. They're super convenient. It's just a rivet with a threaded insert in it, so basically you can just screw a bolt right in. It's super user friendly, it looks really nice, and it's just a really nice process altogether. So we honestly probably should have just done that in the first place, but I guess it all worked out, so it doesn't really matter. So I don't know if you remember from the last video, but I had to make nut plates. That is holding those bolts in right there that you can see. And the reason that we made those is to hold in the plastic that is like the white film basically, so that when we put on those lights, it's not just a bunch of individual LED light bulbs, it's just like a really nice, clean, even color across the whole front of it. That was Tom's idea. Very genius in my opinion. And finally, the reveal. Here's the finished product. All we have to do is put the cooking, like the cooktop, and then the propane torch or whatever in it. But there's the lights. It's even more beautiful in person, I promise. I honestly want to know your thoughts on what the final build is. I want to know if you like it. I want to know if you want to see us build more random stuff, or if you're interested in the bumper side of things. I'm really just curious. I wonder if anyone has any better ideas for the LEDs, or if everybody just likes the way that we did it. Just any ideas you have, just leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to read through them. That burner is sick. I wish I had gotten a video of it on, but basically you'll just have to use your imagination. There's just fire poking out of every single one of those brass nipples, I guess you'd call them. Anyway, it looks sick. Honestly, huge thanks to Ezra and Pamela for the amazing meal. It was seriously so good, especially after a long day of work. It hit the spot. They're also just extremely nice people, and it was really fun sitting around the table with all of the work guys, just chatting it up and having a good time.
Basically, that'd be called that auto mill. But a lot of people have them. Some of them are cool. They have you like fold your arm down and there's like a cannon in some of them. Sideway.
Alright.
My name is Ezra. This is Pam. We own Shifuku Catering. It's a private teppanyaki catering. We travel all over Utah. We've been cooking in the restaurant. Well, I've been cooking in the restaurant industry for 10 years. She's been working in the restaurant industry for about 9, but we met at the restaurant. And then we decided to start a teppanyaki catering. You can contact us at 801-636-3887 for any events. We do from parties of 6 all the way up to 50, full service, and also buffet style. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Alright, I really hope you guys liked the build. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any ideas for future videos we could do, leave it in the comments. But anyway, we'll see you in the next build.